welcome to the Carr's Billington Proud to Farm podcast. Really ramping up the excitement today because, as you'll see, we're not in the studio. We are outside. And thank you very much to Herd Media for coming on that journey with us. And we suggested something slightly crazy. We're filming today from our show trailer, but more importantly, our show trailer is at the Massey Ferguson Experience. We're going to talk to our guests in a wee second. I'm going to let them actually explain what this is all about and what we're doing here. But I'll introduce them first. So we've got Dale Shaw, who's our brand manager from Carr's Billington. Dale's been with us for a few minutes, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't think I'm old enough to have been here 5 years, something like that. But yeah, quite a while. Yeah.
And we've got Tim Walters, who is the UK brand manager for Massey Ferguson.
That's right, yeah.
So we're here today at Hexham. It's an event where we're inviting all of our customers. Can you let us know a little bit about what the Massey Ferguson Experience is and why we do this?
Yeah, sure. We started MF Experience Tour around about 4 to 5 years ago, and what it started off in its original form was an Arctic, well, 3 Arctics actually, going around various sites all over Europe, and then it's designed to be a bespoke, personalised event where we can support dealers, have one-to-one interactions with our customers, really get to know their farming needs and how we can interact with that. In 2026, we've actually upgraded that. It's now 2 trucks running on the whole of Europe, and we're running 3 weeks in the UK this season. This is our 2nd week, and just getting in front of the customers and really getting to know what Massey Ferguson can offer to them, and what they need from us as well. It's a very 3-way partnership that we believe we have with the dealer and with the customer. So we just like to spend a bit of time with them.
Excellent. And we will come back to you and get a little bit on your background in a second. But Dale, as a dealer, what does having this opportunity today mean for us?
I think it's a great opportunity to actually see the full range in one place. We are obviously spread across the different depots in the different territories and different customers at each site, so we tend to have more focused products at different areas. So in the west, maybe slightly smaller tractors. In the east, the bigger tractors, the 8s and 9s. Here we've got everything. So 1E40, which does what it says on the tin, 40 horsepower, right up to the 9S425 and everything in between. So great to see everything in one place. Great to get the support of the Massey team. Everybody here, you've got people from all over the country and beyond, from France as well. And actually to get the people here to talk to the customers, everything's really open questions, really friendly atmosphere, just everybody understand a little bit about each other a bit more, which is great.
Yeah, because hopefully we'll be able to splice in some footage of sort of generally panning round what is going on here, because as you know, we kind of film this podcast as well and it goes out on YouTube. So it's definitely a visual one this time around. So coming back to, like, how does this all happen? Because the truck here that we've got for Massey Ferguson is unreal. It's like a purpose-built sort of area. It's a conference room. It's a catering venue. How does this come about? Like, what's the logistics?
It starts around about December last year, with us, first of all, identifying the time period that we want to operate. We took the opportunity this year of looking around the Scottgrass event, and then that was week 1, and then moving into week 2 here for you guys. It then turns into trying to find sites. We like to have a hard stand-in for the show unit that you mentioned. We like to have a driving area so that people can get first-hand experience of driving that. And we normally start with about 12 or 13 sites. And it narrows down because they're not perfect. We can't have facilities. We want it to be somewhere that's usable, weather changes, etc., etc. So it takes quite a bit from that point of view just to kick it off. But then there's catering to plan, there's machines to plan, all the haulage to sort out. It's a big thing, but we still believe that it's worthwhile to give us the opportunity to get in front of the customers, which we can't always do at these big national events. You know, they're important, but it's still quite nice just to get in front of them. So,
smashing. So let's dial it back a little bit to tell us a little bit about you, Tim. So UK brand manager, what does that entail?
So essentially my direct reports are the UK and Irish sales and marketing teams. So we're responsible for the whole goods sales of full line products. So that includes Massey Ferguson tractors from 19 horsepower up to 425, telehandlers, full range of hay tools, balers, combine harvesters, and everything as well. So we are very much on the front line when it comes to selling the product. And then we have a sales support team as well, which is responsible for training the dealers, supporting the network, and supporting the customers when the dealers need a bit of support as well. So that's what we do in our team, a team of 15 across the UK and Ireland.
And so are you from an agricultural background? So where did you start to get to where you are now?
Oh, Christ. I started moving into the countryside when I was 6. Not from a farming background, moved into a derelict barn across the road from a dairy farm and got mates with the kids there, and that was it. I was away driving tractors and stealing tractors from the local farmer to deliver coffee down the field to when they were combining, etc. Relatively uneducated, other than straight into agricultural college when I was 16, and then it was agriculture engineering, and then I've worked in agriculture ever since. So I won't declare how long ago that was, but it was a while. And then ultimately, this is my 12th year at AGCO, and 11th year with Massey Ferguson. So, yeah, it's in the blood.
Oh, very good. And we'll turn the spotlight on Dale for a second then. Take us back a little bit. Where did you get your sort of start in the agricultural career? Dad was worked on farms. We lived on farms most of my childhood. Got to leaving school, didn't know really what I wanted to do. We had Newton Rigg College at Penrith at the time. Signed up and went on a engineering course there. I'd jump back a bit. I did a week's work experience at Carr's at Penrith in '98, which kind of gives a bug. I seem to remember a 3000 series tractor wound up because it had the wrong size tyres on it, and got really in depth with that. And I was like, what should I do? I want to know more about that. So no mechanical experience whatsoever. Did a 2-year full-time course at Newton Rigg, and went to speak to Ian at Carr's at Penrith at the time and said I could really do with learning something about this. Can I come and work in the holidays? And yeah, got it from there. The day I left college, Ian offered us a job, and that was in parts. Did parts for a few years into sales. Spent a few years in sales, left. Went to work for a manufacturer for 3 years, and then came back and done various different roles since in the sales world, moving into more of a central role in the last few years, and spend a bit more time travelling around and working on different bits across the business. So yeah, it's good. So Dale, your role as brand manager then,
yeah.
You work very closely with Massey Ferguson to strengthen and bolster that relationship that we have with them. What do you think it is from a customer point of view that keeps customers so loyal to the brand?
I think there's a lot of loyalty because there's a lot of history. The machinery is a key part of what we do as a business, and through Carr's agriculture as it was, and then Carr's Billington's acquisition into machinery was through acquiring other businesses, and those businesses went right back to the 1920s. So some of the brands, the Ferguson brand, obviously went on to become Massey Ferguson. That history goes through literally generations. So we've got customers who we deal with today whose dads, granddads had the Ferguson brand, the Massey Ferguson brand, and that loyalty keeps coming back, which is fantastic. Saying that though, we've got a whole new generation of new customers on board in all the time. We've got the technology, we've got the product, we've got the range to offer them, and I think that continuous development of the Massey product means that we're enticing new customers into that all the time. Our ethos really in machinery at Carr's is the long-term relationship as well.
Yeah.
We're not just wham bam, that's one deal. It's about doing this deal, looking after the customer. Majority of tractors we'll sell with an extended warranty package, which is up to 5 years. We do service contracts. We look after customers over that period of time to hopefully be able to reset the relationship and go into the next tractor when that one's got to the end of its finance or warranty period. And that builds loyalty because a customer might start off with a 150 horsepower tractor in the budget, and when that one comes to an end, they go to the next size up and a little bit more spec and a little bit more budget, and that means we get the repeat cycle quite a lot, and we can get to work with people for quite a long time.
Because that was going to be one of my questions, was more directed towards you, Tim. So how does a brand like Massey service really loyal customers, but also inspire the next generation of farmers?
Yeah, I think for us, and probably carrying on from what Dale said, really, we look at the whole customer journey, and that starts with, do you know the brand? Do you like the brand? Do you want the brand? And then once we've got them into the brand, then it's also a case of, how we maintain that loyalty. Once they've got it, making sure they're getting the most from it, making sure that they're interested and want to stick with us for the future, and also supported and supporting the dealer is massively influential on that, because we can't do what we do without dealers such as Carr's Billington putting everything into making sure that's performing as it should. So it's a whole cycle, and once you get on that cycle, it's really interesting to support our customers to do that with your guys' help as well.
So Massey Ferguson obviously has a strong heritage. I've been out to the Massey Ferguson plant in Bouvier, and it's an inspiration to see everything that's going on there and the way that you've developed production. One of the things you were talking about in your presentation earlier that we've seen you talking about, Tim, was vertical integration.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what we've done in recent years has been severe investment from the parent company AGCO into Massey Ferguson. More recently, there was an investment of around 40 million euros into bringing in site onto site all of the production things that we could do, I suppose. So hydraulic pipes, tanks, stickers, 3D printing, all of that sort of stuff, to bring it all within the same site rather than having to rely on bringing it in just on time. What that does is it makes the factory more efficient, and in the presentation that you referred to, we can produce up to 100 tractors a day, which is one every 5 minutes, and having everything on site helps that. So it's been a massive key and a massive driver to making sure the factory's more efficient and be able to deliver what we need to deliver at the end of the day.
And where's the biggest markets for Massey Ferguson then?
So if you look at the Beauvais site, which is obviously what feeds the UK, predominantly the four biggest, if you like, would be Turkey, France, UK and Ireland are included in that, but then there is some inclusion of the US and Canada in there as well. But sort of the UK, Ireland, France, and Turkey in the EMEA region, we would account to about 47% of the production from that plant over the years.
Dale, a question I was thinking about for you was, Massey Ferguson isn't just machinery for some people. It's part of their livelihoods and part of their identities. Is there a particular story, because you've sold, I don't know how many thousand tractors to however many of your loyal customers, but is it a particular farmer story that sticks with you, one that's quite inspirational or motivational for you?
I guess there's loads of stories, really. It's trying to think of one there. I think with the brand, I mentioned before about people maybe getting a tractor and then when it gets then going to the next step and the next step. I think that's probably the thing. We're really, really lucky. We worked with loads of different customers, but personally, working with some customers who were starting off, get the first tractor, and take them on that journey of the Massey product, the after sales support, the extended warranty, the finance packages, all that sort of stuff, to get a customer start. And we've done that with some really great customers who have come to us. We've got them into that tractor number one, and then got them going with the product. They've bought into the Massey brand. An odd one we've taken to the factory. We showed them what's behind the scenes. We invite them to events like this, and then they go to the next tractor again, and then they, that's then sort of bought in with the family. Everybody becomes part of that brand, part of Carr's Billington, part of Massey Ferguson. Then they maybe buy a baler to go with it. That sort of journey, I think that's quite inspirational. That you can start from scratch, take somebody on that, and hopefully beyond their years into the next generation, we can start that. So some of the guys where I'm dealing now with maybe grandchildren of people, hopefully we're starting that story all over again with somebody who's new to the brand or new to the industry. We've got customers who literally are new into agriculture, have chosen Massey Ferguson as the tractor of choice, and now run a fleet of them. And that's like, that means things are going right. Product must be good. Backup must be good. Everybody involved is working together for the right results. Happy customer, happy dealer. It's got to be a win-win. I think that's the way it needs to work. Other industries that are in vehicle sales and stuff like that maybe don't work that way, but our thing's all about win-win. Happy customer, happy dealer, happy manufacturer. We've got to tick the boxes, make sure everything works right, and that's good result for everybody. I think that's a good thing, really.
What about you, Tim? Because you're bound to have heard some really inspirational stories about Massey Ferguson customers over the years.
Yeah. Just listening and reflecting on what Dale's saying, really, and I suppose referring back to what we were saying before about the customer journey. I can't put a word on the amount of pride, really. The amount of pride you get when you so associate with a brand and doing what you guys do on the front line. Okay, we're sat behind a little bit in support with as a manufacturer, but being able to provide a real solution to customers, being able to sit down and really understand what they need. I've been sat around tables. I've had some retail in my experience as well, and I've been sat around tables with the grandkids, and the father's there looking to support us because he's done his bit, and grandfather's over there making a cup of coffee or whatever, and to know that they've stuck with us all those years, and they have a pride in our brand, and knowing that we're there to support them and make their experience of what we do so worthwhile, to fit into their life and their livelihood, and hoping that we can just pass it on to the next generation, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful industry for that.
So to that end then, thinking about it, customers will have affiliations to different brands. How do we then encourage customers over to Massey? What is it about Massey that's so special? You can both take it. It's okay.
I was just going to link it back to why we're here today. It's even today we've had conversations with people that are exactly in that category. We've got competitive customers here. That's why we're here. And listening to some of them, and there's always a case of a lack of support. I'm sure at the end of the day, it's an industry, it's a machine. There's going to be ups and downs in any relationship, and our journey is about convincing those people that we are here, and we are here to support, with the support of someone like Carr's Billington, to be able to scoop them up and keep them going in their journey, in their career, because they need something that can turn the key and it goes, whatever the weather, whatever day of the week or week of the year. So to me, it's just about building nice, sustainable relationships organically, and then in the longer run, we're there, and that's what we're about. So
it gives us a chance to prove ourselves, doesn't it? I think those opportunities as well, sometimes it literally can take years. So you can, some of the sales team can be knocking on doors. We might have a relationship with a customer through a different product, or through the feed team or the fuel team or something else within the business. And we have a machinery rep knocking on the door. Can I quote you for a tractor? Can I quote you for a tractor? No, I'm blue, I'm red and green, whatever the other brand is. And then it can literally take years. And then something might just be, I need a really handy loader tractor. And we're really, really good at loader tractors. That's something we do extremely well with. What have you got? And we can offer anything from 60, 70 horsepower up to 200 horsepower as a four-cylinder loader tractor, which makes us a little bit unique. And that could be the foot in the door to then lead to plenty of other things. So the opportunity to prove our brand over other brands can take years. Yeah. But it's great to get that opportunity and then show what we can do. Reliability is good. Cost of ownership's good. We work really, really hard with that. With warranty and servicing really is a key thing. You can have a cheap tractor and it can cost you a fortune to keep the thing running. That's no good either. So we like to get them costs right for people for the long haul, and look to get the customer out with the tractor at the right place to go into the next one as well, which is important.
It's also, I'll just add to that as well, it's been able to offer that complete package to our customers as well. In AGCO, Massey Ferguson, we're very fortunate to have partnerships with we've got our own finance company, for example,
Yep.
and we can get them around the table with these guys, really understand what suits them when it comes to financing product as well. There may be peaks and troughs in their cash flow, and we can respond to that. So, and then the warranty we can adjust and move around a little bit as well. So, technology, that's another one. We haven't mentioned technology, but it's a big thing. But being able to offer that complete package, almost like a one-stop shop, to be able to go out there, and that builds trust and confidence and everything as well. So, just making sure we're all geared up for that. That's us and you guys as well. So, yeah.
So thinking about what we've got here today, what's the most exciting bits of kit that people have been wanting to see? What questions have they been asking?
Big mix. The range of customers we've had here today has been really interesting. I'm sat here looking at a 1M25 20 horsepower tractor with a mower deck on it, and also walk across the field and watching people smiling from ear to ear, grins on the face because
the big tractors,
they're getting a 425 going in a straight line, and probably wouldn't even ever dream of sitting on a tractor that size because they normally run 120 horsepower. But it's been great just getting into the nitty gritty of the product, and when people have got questions, we've got some loyal customers here as well, and it's also been about just helping them out. We've had one really interesting conversation with a guy who was just struggling with a few settings, and we just nailed it and got the right guys in front of them, and he's gone away happy chappy, so all good.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been getting excited about that massive 9S that's in a really lovely metallic red colour.
Yeah.
But what's the most popular selling tractors in the UK for Massey Ferguson?
So for us at the moment, we're still, our bread and butter, if you like, are still predominantly that sort of the 110 to sort of 150 horsepower bracket. So in the sort of 5S, 5M range, closely followed up by sort of 180 to 200, something like that. That's still the biggest sector for on average for the whole of the UK and Ireland. 9S is obviously coming on a lot. We had a lot of success with 8700 series, and now we're up to 425 horsepower with that. That's really turning some heads as well. And I think it's another thing we talked about. We've talked about customer journey, but we've got to have that full offering, because it may be historically we've only been able to offer up to a certain power or a certain solution. And then that leaves, when somebody does want something bigger, it's left the door open. But now we can offer the package again right the way through, like you say, from the small stuff to the big stuff. So, yeah, it's an interesting time in the industry from that perspective, that's for sure.
And you obviously mentioned technology. So talk to us a little bit about some of the technological innovations within some of these machines that would get folk going, that really turn folk on.
I think, technology. Big one with guidance, precision farming. We're doing more and more with that. All the big tractors come in is a minimum of auto steer ready. Certainly anything 6-cylinder. A lot of the 6S's now. We've even got a number of 5S's, and even the 5M. The sort of more entry level model, but still offering auto steering guidance. Within our business, we now have a separate department for precision farming. And we've got a focus on the Massey technology, teed in with PTX technology to offer the right package for the customer. It can be just as basic as doing a straight line. At the press of a button, it can be that simple. And then we've got other customers utilising the whole package, farm engage, pushing prescription maps to the tractor to do variable rate application. We're starting to fit more technology around slurry handling to actually monitor what we're putting on, feed the data back to the tractor. It's all up to the cloud, and it's a resource that customers can then use to do water nutrient management plans and all that sort of stuff, which ties into the other parts of our business as well. But yeah, technology within that sort of stuff's just really exciting. The last 2 or 3 years, it's become so easy to use as well. We work with such a simple system in the Fergie tractor, just to go mode 2 or 3 buttons and you're doing a straight line. It's not as complicated as maybe some people who haven't been exposed to it understand, and that's why something like this is a good opportunity to try that, really.
So thinking about the UK market at the minute, how buoyant is it? Is there any big concerns out there? Are people spending money just now?
I think in our territory, we've a variation of industry, parts of the industry in agriculture. through dairy, sheep, beef, arable. It's a mixed picture at the moment. It really, really is. Spring's traditionally a time where we do a lot of tractor business, and we're broadly in line with where we want to be. Tractor sales have been good this spring. We've got product available. Lead times are sensible.
Yep.
The packages are right. That's helped drive some business. There's been a nice bit of conquest in there as well. We've onboarded some new customers this spring. I think longer term, there's a lot going on in the world, isn't there? A lot of politics and a lot of changes, but customers keep reinvesting. We want to support people over the long term, and it might be not that we swap that tractor this year that can hang on for a year or two. We'll put a little bit more extended warranty on it. We'll make it last a little bit longer, but really the diet feeder tractor that goes every single day, we better get that upgraded because we need 100% reliability and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think just to add to that again is the industry sort of shifted a bit over the last sort of 5 to 6 years. 5 or 6 years ago, you talk about first-hand and second-hand tractors, and now we're on to first-hand, second-hand, and third-hand in some cases. Because of the value of the kit, it's important to do that. So we've moved a little bit with that as well, and take the 8S Ranger tractor for example. We can offer finance and warranty packages on second-hand tractors up to 4 years old. So it's important to be able to respond to that. The industry is challenging, and I think there's a lot of uncertainty based on what's going on elsewhere in the world. I don't need to spell them out, but your fuel costs, your commodity prices, etc. So we're aware of that, and we adjust our forecast to suit that as well. So yeah, it's been a good start to the year, but just interesting to see what happens elsewhere. Yeah.
Was there not a couple of Massey models recently that have won awards for fuel efficiency?
That's right, yes. So the 8S Dyna e-Power was best in its class in the most recent DLG test as well. I won't quote figures, but depends on usage, etc. But the cost saving over 5 years of ownership, just in fuel alone, is substantial. And interestingly, second in the class was the DVT version as well. So it's quite interesting times. But you'll see more on that in the press in the weeks ahead for sure.
And is that a big concern with customers, Dale? Like, are they coming to you specifically asking for tractors that are more fuel efficient, or is that not on the agenda for them?
It's on the agenda now, which it probably hasn't been much in the past, or not in recent times. Funny when fuel takes the peaks and troughs it has recently, it makes everybody think a little bit more. And a big tractor has a very big fuel tank. It takes filling, so every little bit more you get out of it is a great thing. It's the first time us seeing the new latest sort of incarnation Dyna e-Power here on the 8S Extra, and it's impressive to see. And if the comfort, the ride, the drivability is good, and you get fuel economy to the sort of levels you can on top of that, that's bound to be part of an interesting picture, really. So, keen to see. The proof's in the pudding as well. Yes, very good tests behind it and stuff. Once we get this stuff out in the field, and you start to get the feedback, that's really impressive. So,
yeah. So we're going to do a couple of final things just to finish off. Favourite Massey Ferguson model?
Oh, all of them. All of them.
Tim's got a bit of time to think here.
But I'm gonna go like 6480 Tier 3 Sisu engine grey chassis, that really fine-tuned geek spec there to get to the real ultimate, a modern classic, really.
You'd honed me into current range then. You snuck in a little classic there, Dale.
Oh, you've got to love a little bit of pre-ad blue classic, haven't you? Really, that's
for me at the moment. It's 9S. It's a hell of a machine, to be fair, and it's just so underrated in its class at the moment that it's turning a lot of heads. It's creating a lot of smiles. It's creating a lot of pride for us guys. The audience is certainly watching what's going on with that. So I'm really interested to see what we're going to do with that in the next 12 months.
Yeah, I seen it for the first time in Bouvet, and I remember getting excited hearing about it coming to some of our show stands in the summer, and it was certainly a big draw for people. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that first we borrowed your demo unit in pre-production unit, was it last summer?
Yeah,
and we had that on the Yorkshire Show stand, and the it was finished in the same colour, and the heads it turned were pretty impressive. We had a customer come on the stand late on, maybe the second or third day of the Great Yorkshire Show last year, and struck a deal with us on a different model, but based on seeing that colour. And if we can have one like that, we'll have a deal. And it turned a lot of heads, that tractor. So, yes.
Yeah.
Wow, the colour, the power of metallic red, or somebody's called it cherry red, and somebody called it cola red, and
Call it whatever red you like.
As long as you're going to buy one.
As long as you're going to buy one.
Well, that was fantastic. Thank you very much to Dale, and thank you very much to Tim. We have had an amazing day here at the Massey Ferguson Experience Tour, and we can't wait to show you a bit more about it. Remember this podcast, if you're enjoying it, please like, share and subscribe.